President Grasso, thank you so much for joining me. I'm so excited to get to know you.
Sydney, I am delighted to be here and to chat with you about the University of Michigan.
Awesome. Let me get to my first question then. So I know you PhD'd here. So why Michigan?
Well, I'm an environmental engineer, and when I was looking at PhD programs, not surprisingly, Michigan was ranked at the very top, and at that time they were tied with Stanford for the top spot. They are still in the top 3 or 4, and it's just a very strong program, and it was a great experience.
Yep, academics at Michigan are just top notch.
Absolutely.
What is something you remember most being a UM graduate student here?
Well, I did my graduate work primarily here on North Campus, but I did start in West Engine when West Engine was still West Engine, not West Hall. So I spent time on Central Campus. The things I remember most, of course, are the football games, which were terrific. And most importantly, meeting my wife here. And I remember getting Zingerman's sandwiches and going to the top of the park, when it was really the top of the park, to watch movies.
That's so sweet. So how'd you guys officially meet?
We met in a graduate class. My wife's also an engineer, right over there in what was Engineering 1A at the time, an undistinguished name for a building, but it was a wonderful experience.
It's really sweet. So speaking of, you're an engineer, and I know you talk a lot about humanities. Why is that, and do you want to speak more on that?
The definition of engineering is to take science and math and serve humanity. So most engineers are very fluent in math and science, but have a scant understanding of the humanities and social sciences. And it's hard to understand how you could take math and science and serve humanity if you don't understand the human condition, the human record, all of that. So I've been making that my life's career, is trying to get engineers more acquainted with the humanities and social sciences as part of their actual necessary training.
Yeah, it's a really nice, well-rounded look on that. Instead of just looking at just science, you're kind of using science for the greater purpose
Absolutely.
of humanity. So what are your priorities as president?
My priorities as president are to keep Michigan moving forward. Michigan, in my estimation, is the best and greatest university, not in America, but in the world. It has 110 programs in the top 10, brilliant people, a wonderful experience. We educate the best minds to go out and change the world. We create new knowledge that serves society. My priority is to keep that moving forward and strengthening that and rebuilding the trust and faith that the American people have and will continue to have in higher education.
Very nice. I like that. So where on campus can we see you?
I love the Diag, and I love the ARB, the study rooms in Rackham. I love the stadium and Chrysler. When I was here, I would work out a lot in what was the CCRB. It's now going to be the Hadley Family Recreation Center.
Yes.
So that may be another place that I will be frequently found in, but I love every place about the University of Michigan. It's got so many great places.
So we'll find you everywhere.
You'll find me everywhere, and I plan to be
Awesome.
everywhere.
Awesome. So I know you're a veteran. Should we call you Major Grasso? And how did your Army career shape you?
First, nobody calls me Major Grasso, and I hope nobody will call me Major Disaster Grasso. But anybody who's been in the military knows that it shapes your character, your discipline, your outlook, teamwork, all of that. So it's had a very significant impact on my career and how I treat the people I work with and accomplishing the mission.
I want to say thank you for your service, and I have a lot of respect for you.
Thank you.
So how do you like to unwind?
I love to unwind by being outside. So my wife and I like to walk, hike, ski, pickleball, cycle, anything that has to do with being outside. We have dogs, and we like to take them for walks, and just being in nature is the best way to unwind. I also love to read books, especially if I can read them outside. We go to films, especially we love international films because they always have an interesting take on the world. And those are some of the things we like to do.
What kind of books do you like to read?
I like to read across all sorts of different genres. So I'll read history books, I'll read novels, I'll read books on social psychology, anything that looks interesting at the time. Typically, I'll read 3 or 4 books at once. So
Oh my goodness.
will have them in different rooms in the house, and wherever I'm sitting, I'll just pick up a book.
You're able to keep track of each storyline.
Sometimes not. Sometimes I have to page back to remember where I was.
Yeah. Okay, I'm a big dog lover. So what are your dog's names? What kind of dogs do you have?
So what kind of dog do you have?
Okay, so I have a pit bull and a husky.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
And what are their names?
My husky's name is Eduardo.
Eduardo?
Yes.
That's very distinguished.
Yes. And my pit bull's name is Jackson.
Jackson, very cool. Right now we have a Spinoni Italiano, which is an Italian hunting dog, who's very, very sweet. But we've had other dogs in the past. All of our kids have dogs. So when they come to visit, our house is filled with dogs. And that's what we have right now.
Okay, this is the last question, and I love this question. Did you actually grow up on a street named Brightside?
Yes. Well, that's a little bit of a story because my mother moved to a street called Brightside while I was at the University of Michigan, probably because she knew that it was going to become part of the Michigan legend and ethos here. But it became my permanent home address while I was at the University of Michigan, right? So I kind of am Mr. Brightside.
Yeah, you are. Thank you so much for joining me, President Grasso. I really do appreciate it, and I learned so much about you.
Well, thank you, Sydney. I really enjoyed this conversation. I hope to see you in all those places that I mentioned. And forever, go blue.
Go blue.